Good morning and welcome to Fitness Friday. Apparently this is a live video. I didn't know that till 3 minutes ago, so bear with me. We've been talking about inflammation, we've been talking about gut health. I'm going to tie some of those things in just a little bit. Again, it's a huge subject, so I'm not going to tell everything I know in a couple minutes. But hopefully it gives you some things to think about or some things to follow through on. I want to talk a little bit more about probiotics, which again, huge subject. Y'all probably all know that, when I'm talking about probiotics, we're talking about healthy bacteria that lives in your gut. Now there are at least 400 different types of healthy bacteria in your gut. But when we're talking about probiotics, we're only talking about a couple different families. Some of those families can be split up into smaller groups. Like one of them has at least six different groups that you can kind of look at. But and like lactobacillus, there's at least 6 different types of that. Now when you're looking at a bottle, you're probably going to see lactobacillus acidophilus, but you want to avoid, you want to try to learn the couple that are important for gut health and ignore others that might be out there. Let's see here. So one of the things when we're looking at just the overall, like what do probiotics do, they work in conjunction with your immune system, with your nervous system. They have a huge impact on what's called the tight junctions. Jim Laval compares the tight junctions to toll booths, which basically means that the toll booth analogy is really good because that implies that it's not a impenetrable barrier. It's a barrier that things are supposed to get through once they're qualified. So when that toll booth is working properly, when the tight junction is working correctly, things go through once they're either that are supposed to go through or once they're prepared to go through. If the tight junction is not working properly, I mean, just like if someone drove to a toll booth and the gate was up and the light was green, people would just drive through. That's basically what happens when you don't have a proper balance of healthy flora in your gut. The tight junction is not going to work properly. It's going to let things into your bloodstream either that aren't supposed to, like pathogens, or before they're ready. This is going to trigger inflammation of the gut lining and cause a cascade of problems, as well as let food proteins into your bloodstream before they're ready. So when you're digesting food, that's obviously a very complex process. I'm not going to go into all that today. But nutrients are supposed to get into your bloodstream at a certain point. If the tight junctions aren't doing their job and that toll booth is open and they can get into your bloodstream before they're supposed to, your body produces antibodies to attack those things. And if you end up with that gut permeability and you end up with that situation basically all the time, that's where you get that low-grade systemic inflammation. So let's see here. So something just really easy to keep in mind if you're thinking about what do probiotics do without being super scientific, because we could obviously do that. They've got protective functions, they have structural functions, and they have metabolic functions. You don't even need to know the details necessarily, but those are 3 things that are pretty easy just to keep in mind. And when we're looking at, you might think your flora is good. Some people probably think that system is only affected if they've had to take an antibiotic, because a lot of people understand if you take an antibiotic, it attacks all the bacteria. You need to understand that certain strains of healthy flora are very susceptible to antibiotics, meaning they're very likely to get killed. But a lot of different things will also affect the flora in your gut. So just aging, stress, lack of sleep, even exercise, it's really intense. A lot of us like to work out. We like to work out hard. If you do that a lot and you don't recover properly, you're beating up your immune system. So most people need to take a good quality probiotic at least some of the time, at least kind of a maintenance level. And then there's times where you might need to take an additional dose to deal with just what's going on. Some of the symptoms you can have, or that can kind of indicate that something is going on with your gut. It's almost anything you can think of, but like mood imbalances, hormonal imbalances, immune problems, sleep problems, food allergies, weight gain, metabolic syndrome. I've seen a lot of people who had a very hard time losing fat just because they had low-grade systemic inflammation all the time. That makes it really difficult for the body to let go of fat. Sometimes you have to clear that up first before you can really get on like a good quality fat loss program. So, and that is going to be a combination of good nutrition, probably an elimination diet, getting on a good quality, probably a couple different types of good quality probiotic, and then following it up with glutamine and some botanicals to repair the mucosal lining of the gut. So, two types of bacteria that I want you to kind of keep in mind, and we'll have some notes to help because they're weird words, is lactobacillus. I don't think I pronounced that right because Latin is not my first language. And the other one is Bifidobacterium. That second one is particularly good if you eat out a lot, if you travel a lot. That's a good one to kind of keep in your wheelhouse because it will help to kill pathogens that you'll get from eating out and stuff like that. So I'm going to wrap it up, I think, with just talking a little bit about how probiotics are the foundation for a lot of this. Like if you don't have enough healthy flora in your gut, a lot of these little problems are likely to kind of creep up or happen. Taking a probiotic is a great step, but if you have gut permeability or diverticulitis or associated whatever gut problems, you probably need to take glutamine, okay? Because it's you're going to need some additional help to repair the mucosal lining in the gut. That mucosal lining is only one cell thick. It's very easily damaged. It starts with sinuses. It goes all the way through to the end of your colon, and it's extremely important. It's delicate. Again, it's not supposed to be an impenetrable barrier. It's supposed to be a barrier that lets qualify things through. But if we hit our system with like strong antibiotics and a lot of stress, lack of sleep, you probably don't even need me to make suggestions. It's going to wear down with that mucosal lining, and once it becomes damaged, it's not just going to get better on its own. It needs help. So glucosamine, there's certain botanicals you can take that help with that too. But I guess if you have any questions, let us know. I could talk for 6 days about this. Yeah, so have a good weekend.